Welcome to the section of videos, Track Time with React Native for Windows. In this video, we'll set up React Native for Windows. The objectives of this video are to introduce React Native Windows, install packages to enhance development in the Windows environment, and lastly, we'll configure our system for development. React Native for Windows is an open source project maintained by Microsoft. This project allows you to build Windows 10 applications for Windows 10 devices like PCs, tablets, and Xboxes. And at the moment, the devices need Windows version 10.0.150630 or higher. What Microsoft is doing is they're implementing React Native and rewriting many of the components in C++ to get the maximum performance. Let's start by discussing the system requirements for developing Windows applications in React Native. At the moment, this is what the Microsoft documentation recommends, that you must have Visual Studio 2019. You can go to this website and download the Community Edition. Once that is installed, you'll need to configure the workloads. The options to be selected are Universal Windows Platform Development, and you'll need to enable the optional C++ version 141 Universal Windows Platform tools. The other workload you'll need to enable is desktop development with C++. After the workloads are configured, we'll need to modify the following. In the Individual Components tab, under Compilers, Build Tools, and Runtimes, you'll need to select MSVC version 141 for Visual Studio Code 2017, x64 and 86 build tools, and the ARM build tools. Now that we have Visual Studio configured, let's move on and discuss some of the dependencies we need to set up our development environment, create Windows applications. We'll need Chocolatey, which can be downloaded here. If you don't know what Chocolatey is, it's a package manager for Windows. You can navigate to the Node website to download the latest version of Node. At the moment, I recommend installing Node with Chocolatey and installing Node 12.9.1 as instructed here. I highly recommend you install Yarn and Chrome as well to help with debugging and configuration. So now that we have our dependencies installed, let's set up the new project. We'll start like any other project by using the React Native init command. But in this case, we need a specific version greater than 60. So in my terminal, I'll input react-native init, and then I'll call my project time --version, and I'll do the caret 0.60.0. Now once that's set up, you'll need to move into the new directory. Using Yarn, let's install the React Native command line instructions. While doing this by doing a yarn add rnpm-plugin-windows. What's happening here is that it's adding the configuration to the React Native CLI to bootstrap a Windows application. It will add a Windows command to React Native that can be used to install the Windows extension. So once that's complete, we'll need to do npx react-native windows. This will add a Windows directory to our application. At the moment, React Native Windows is going through development and changes, so there could be some compatibility issues. If you receive the message process.standardin.setRawMode is not a function, that means that the Metro config was not automatically updated. So you'll need to switch to the git command if you're using git bash and run that as administrator. Once you do that, you should be able to rerun npx React Native Windows, and your Metro config will be replaced and all the Windows files will be added. Once you open up the project, you'll see that the application generated is similar to what we're used to with the React Native CLI. However, there is a Windows directory now, and this will work similar to the Android and iOS directory. This is the code React Native generated to run on the Windows platform. You should see a folder within the application name, which is the built project, and there will be a solution file, which is a structured file used for organizing projects in Microsoft Visual Studio. We'll use this in a little. To run the application, you'll need to do a yarn start in your project's directory. Currently, React Native Windows recommends to use Visual Studio to run your application, and they're working on developing a way to run it with Visual Studio Code. So in your directory, you'll need to open the project solution file. Then at the top, you'll need to select the debug configuration in the x64 platform for the combo box controls. If you don't see it, it's on the left of the Run button and underneath the Team and Tools menu item. Now you can run this in debug mode by pressing the Run button, or you can navigate to the debug option and within that file menu, start without debugging, which is what I will do. The first time you build your project, it will take a while, so you might need to sit tight for a bit. Once it's complete, you should see the standard React Native entry screen